Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Hey, everybody. Great afternoon. Happy Wonderful Wellness Wednesday. It is your girl, Artisha, and welcome to the Uterus Bar. But Happy New Year, you guys. We made it. We crossed the finish line from 2024, and we are doing our praise dance into 2025. How are you guys feeling with this new year? Is it a new year, new you? What do you guys actually do the day before, like that New Year's Eve? Do you guys party? Do you guys celebrate with friends or family? Or do you just kick back and watch movies? So a little bit about me. Usually we pray the New Year's in, and that is something that growing up, my mom had us to do. And I've adopted that. So I cannot go into the new year without praying the New Year's end with my mom, and then also me and my husband and our little guy. So we also do goals. We talk about our goals and what we almost like a vision board, so to speak. But we do our goals and going into the new year. So that's something that we like to do. Yeah, that's a little bit about us. So. One goal I want to tell you about is this year, I don't want to just be busy. I want to be productive and intentional in everything that I do. So no more just saying, oh, I'm busy. No, I am productive. I'm being productive. So I hope you guys are being productive out there, and this is your year. This is your year of transformation. This is your year of saying no. You don't have to do everything, but this is your year to give also back to yourself, okay? So love on yourself and be easy on yourself, okay? All right, so for those that are new, welcome in. For those that are returning, welcome back, family. Now, how well do you know the uterus, or how well do you know the vagina? Think about that for a moment as I sip on my, you guessed it. Yes, that let flow lymphatic tea. Clearing out those toxins, I'm telling y'all, clearing out those toxins. And you can get that at 208lymphatics.com. So, again, how well do you know the vagina, and how well do you know your uterus? So, I wanted to break this down for you guys because I've asked a couple people these questions, and they're like, oh, well, everything is the vagina. And I'm like, no. So let's break it down. So what is a uterus? So this is the female reproductive system. So this is the part of the system. And it's saying the female reproductive system consists of internal and external organs, and it creates hormones, and it's responsible for fertility, menstruation, and sexual activity. Okay. Now, it is pretty much like a pear shape, hollow organ. So when you look at it, that's pretty much what it looks like from a diagram. Okay. Now here, this is what it's telling you. And I'm getting my information from the Cleveland Clinic. Okay. The Cleveland Clinic. And we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Clinic coming up. All right. So here it is. So the external parts is the function of external genitals are to protect the internal parts from infection and allow sperm to enter your vagina. Your vulva is the collective name for all your external genitals. And a lot of people mistakenly use the term vagina to describe all female reproductive parts. So however, your vagina is its own structure and it's located inside your body. We're getting ready to get a little deeper. Okay. So the main parts of your vulva or external genitals are the labia majora. And so we call that the large lips. Okay. We're not talking about lips on our face. We're talking about the lips below. And so it's enclosed and it protects the other external reproductive organs. During puberty, hair growth occurs on the skin of the labia majora, which also contains sweat and oil secreting glands. Okay, I'm gonna stop just right there real quick because I thought about something with sweat and glands and things like that. So this is why it's so important, ladies, to take good care of below, because yes, body odor can come from hair. Okay, especially if you are not cleaning yourself properly, front to back. And, you know, it's your prerogative, you know, if you want to be hairy, bushy, bald, strip, cross, however you want it to be. But just make sure you take care of yourself, ladies, down below. All right. Or even like we talk about wax too. Okay. Labia minora, your labia minora, which is a small lips, can have a variety sizes and shapes. They lie just inside your labia majora and surround the opening to the vagina, the canal that joins the lower part of your uterus to the outside of your body. And urethra, there we go. The urethra is the tube. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So the urethra is the tube. Where am I at? Okay, here we go. The tube that carries outside your body. And the urethra, the tube that carries pee from your bladder to the outside of the body. The skin is very delicate and can become easily irritated and swollen. Now let's talk about what people know. The clitoris. Okay. Your two labia minora meet at your clitoris, a small sensitive protrusion that's comparable to a penis in a man. Or people assign male at birth, MAB. Your clitoris is covered by a fold of skin called the prepuce and is very sensitive for stimulation. Vaginal opening. Your vaginal opening allows menstrual blood and babies to exit your body. So tampons, fingers, sex toys, or penises can go inside your vagina through your vaginal opening. The hymen. So your hymen is a piece of tissue covering or surrounding part of your vaginal opening. It's formed during a development and present during birth. Opening to your urethra. The opening to your urethra is the hole you pee from. So I know I'm taking you guys a little bit back to school, maybe back to sex ed when you were in high school or even junior high. Some high schools or junior highs, they're still doing this, but I wanted to make sure that you understand that part. Now let's talk about internal parts, because I'm setting this up for a story. And I told you guys I'm a storyteller. Okay. So here we go. Internal parts. The vagina is a muscular canal that joins the cervix, the lower part of the uterus, to the outside of the body. And it can widen to accommodate a baby during delivery and then shrink back to hold something narrow like a tampon. It's lined with mucous membranes that help keep it moist. Your cervix. Your cervix is the lowest part of the uterus. A hole in the middle allows sperm to enter and menstruation blood to exit. Your cervix opens, which dilates, to allow a baby to come out during vaginal childbirth. Your cervix is what prevents things like tampons from getting lost inside your body. The uterus. Your uterus is a hollow, pear-shaped organ that holds a fetus during pregnancy. And your uterus is divided into two parts, the cervix and the corpus. The corpus is the larger part of the uterus that expands during pregnancy. Stay with me, you guys. Ovaries. Ovaries are small, oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of your uterus. Your ovaries produce eggs and hormones. Okay? Now, fallopian tubes. These are narrow tubes that are attached to the upper part of your uterus and serve as a pathways for your eggs, ovum, to travel from your ovaries to the uterus. So fertilization of an egg by sperm normally occurs in the fallopian tubes. The fertilized egg then moves to the uterus where it implants into your uterine lining. I know I just gave you guys a whole lesson, a specialized lesson on what the Cleveland Clinic is telling us. What is the uterus, the external and external parts. So before I begin, let me get a sip of my tea. We're letting that lymphatic system flow. All right, so I started doing some digging, some research about not having a uterus. And I didn't know that was such a thing to be born without having a uterus. And this is really common. 1 in 5,000 women in the U.S. will be born without a uterus. And so I want to go into a couple of different stories. And the first transplant, a uterine transplant. So follow me. And do you know anyone out there without a uterus? Or, do you not have a uterus? So it was very interesting to me. I was like, wait, what? I just thought that every woman had a uterus. I didn't know that you could be born without having a uterus. Okay. So the actual term of, being born without a uterus, it's MRKH. And so it stands for Mayer Rokitansky Kuster Hauser syndrome. Forgive me if I badgered it, but the syndrome is known as MRKH. Okay. And this actually develops while a female is, bundled up in her mother's womb. And it's two types. And we're going to go into that after. I want to share this story. So it was a lady that I followed her story. She's in Michigan. And she noticed at age 16 that she did not have any periods. So then her family took her to the doctors and they said, oh, you know what? Sure enough, you have the MRKH. So for her, it was devastating. Could you imagine that? You're not saying that. Could you imagine being told that you cannot even have children at that age? This is what this is. So for her, yes, she played sports too. She went into a state of depression, not feeling sure of herself. And you think about it, already at that age, during puberty, your hormones are already out of whack anyway. So you're trying to fit in, but now this is a new normal for you. The new normal is, oh my gosh, I'm just told that, I don't have a uterus. This is why I'm not bleeding every month. So for her, what she was doing was, like I said, she was playing sports. So you think about it, if you've ever played sports, guess what? That the period gang is here. They come and it's like, hey, you either put a tampon on or a pad and you just roll with it, whether you're playing basketball, whether you're playing, for me, it was volleyball, whether you're, a cheerleader or whatnot. And then sometimes you have those accidental, bleeding spots, right? Or now your period is here and you need a tampon or a pad. So for her, she had to make this up. So she made up, yes, I do have my period, and my pads and my tampons are in my purse. So that was the way for her to be able to fit in to her new normal. I just couldn't imagine that at that time. So man, that's something. So what she was saying is that she was born without a uterus. And so it would be a uterus, her cervix, and part of her vaginal canal. And so that's why I wanted to go into, hey, what is a uterus? So my amazing listeners and my amazing viewers, you would have an understanding of the internal and external parts of a uterus. Okay. So this lovely lady, she was pretty much saying like, oh my gosh, my feelings, I was feeling, uneasy. I was depressed. I was afraid. I was alone, just not feeling like, okay, man, am I a woman? Because you think about, okay, hey, I have my period. Okay, this is a way of me. Okay, this is the start of me becoming a woman. This is, okay, I'm developing breasts. We talked about the pubic hair. You're developing all those different things. And she's like, well, dang, okay, I won't be able to have a child, or I'm not having this monthly menstrual. Now, her thing also, she was saying that it was weird for her not being able to have a child naturally. So it did affect her view of what being a woman looked like to her. Okay. Now, fast forward, she did get married, and her husband started to do some research, and they started to do IVF and surrogates. They looked out for surrogates, but they all failed. So imagine being told at 16 that, again, you can't have children. You meet the love of your life. Now it's like, okay, thankfully he's really supportive, and they're trying to move forward. And all 3 times, the IVF and the surrogates all failed. So now she's like, okay, well, dang, what else can I do? What's going to be the next thing? Well, here's the thing. And this is why I always say, you guys, it's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and God will send a blessing to you when you least expect it. So her husband is a dentist, and his cousin, her husband's cousin, and this lady, they got together, became pretty much like the best of friends. And she was like, guess what? I'll do it. I'll go ahead and be your surrogate. And that just made her day. Fast forward, let me tell y'all. So let me go backwards. So she does have ovaries. So let me say that, okay? So she does have ovaries, and her hormones are working with normal levels. So anyways, moving forward, the cousin now was carrying the baby, and they were able to have a bundle of joy. Man, if that's not a blessing, I don't know what is. And then she, this patient, this lovely lady, she was like, you know what? I still want to feel like I'm coming into being a mom. So she started taking these pills that helps her produce like milk production. And it creates like a pregnancy hormone. And you guys, packed up in the freezer was milk for the baby. And she was able to pump. Like, I was like, wow. She was able to pump milk for her unborn child. So I thought that was really, really, really neat too. And speaking of milk production, do you know it's called liquid gold? Milk production is called liquid gold. People pay top dollar, okay, for liquid gold. Yes. And let me tell you a little secret. Liquid gold, if you put a couple of drops, if somebody has pink eye, let me tell y'all something. If you put a couple of drops of that liquid gold in your eye, I'm telling you, the pink eye is gone. I know that sounds disgusting, but think about how much nutrients is carried there. Okay? I know. So that's one story. I told you guys I'm a storyteller. Let me tell y'all, this tea is tea. Get your tea. 208lymphatics.com. We no more toxins. Buy toxins. So that was one story. Okay. Now, what happens? Let me go to how what happens with the MRKH. So in your wound, this happens in the mother's womb at the first trimester. Okay. And again, the uterus, the cervix, and vaginal canal do not fully form. But the hormones are actually there. Now, I want to break down another story for you guys. I thought this was pretty cool. During the pandemic, it was another lady that was born without a uterus. Okay, she was born without a uterus, and during the pandemic, she had her baby. So her story is a little similar. At the age of 17, she found out that she didn't have a uterus. She didn't have a menstrual either. She was a Utah native and stressed out. She ended up going through a divorce at the age of 32, but she still wanted to be a mom. This was very important to her. And so a friend of hers suggested, hey, have you ever heard of a uterine transplant? And she was like, no, what is that? She was like, where they can put a uterus inside of your body. They're transplanting, they're putting it in there. It's like a surgery. And she's like, no, I haven't. She's like, well, here, I'm gonna give you this information. Look into Cleveland Clinic because they're doing trials and you may be able to get accepted to this program. So long and behold, this lady, her name is Amanda. She looked into the uterine transplant trial program that was in Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic. And she ended up meeting this guy and they ended up getting engaged. And she ended up getting accepted to the program. So I just thought, like I said, it's always miracles around the corner. It's always blessings that are coming your way. So moving forward, the lady Amanda, her mom at the time, that she got accepted into the program, and her mom ended up having uterine cancer. So she found this out at this time, and her mom had a dream and was like, I had a dream and I met your baby girl, and she is beautiful and she looks just like you, and her name is Gracie. And she's like, oh, Mom, that is so nice. Like, oh, my gosh, I know you're going to be around to be able to hold her. So you guys, 8 days after she had, Amanda, after she had the actual transplant. So she ended up having a transplant. The transplant, her mom passed away. Now, she ended up having the baby girl. And she named the baby girl Gracie. And so how did she get the transplant? Through a deceased donor. So this is where people are like, okay, well, how are they getting these uteruses? They just have them just sitting somewhere, or, what's going on? It's through a deceased donor. I'm pretty sure they do blood work and things like that too before they just, place it in you. And they did IVF, through IVF. And her baby girl was born. And so she ended up having her beautiful bundle of joy during the pandemic. Okay. Now, I wanted to tell you guys the first uterine transplant. And this was here in the U.S. And pretty much this transplant is designed, and I thought this was pretty neat. So it's designed for individuals that are born without a uterus. It's also designed for those like me that have had a hysterectomy. And it's also designed for those that have a uterus that is not functioning properly following an infection. Okay. So I really feel like it's giving women hope to be able to become a mother. I feel like a woman craves to be able to carry their own child and to be able to feel what we call butterflies, or a baby's kicking, or you get what I'm saying? Like women crave for that. No, we don't crave for the sickness. No, we don't crave for that morning sickness or the Braxton Hicks. We're not craving for that. But we're craving for those other different things that makes us feel like a woman. So I'm telling every woman out there, listen, I don't know how much this transplant costs, but look at God and look at technology. Look at how far we've come to where you can still be able to birth a child. Let me get some tea. Sip, sip, sip. Okay. Now, the first uterine transplant was done at the Cleveland Clinic. Okay. And this was in 2016. Okay. And Dr. Rebecca Flitch was part of the transplant team. And Dr. Tara Nala, this is what she would report it. Okay. So it was a 9-hour surgery. The lady, her name is Lindsay. This is the patient that was the first uterine transplant patient in 2016. So her eggs were fertilized, placed in a freezer, and you guessed it, it was a deceased uterus, like it's coming from a deceased donor. Okay, not a deceased uterus, but coming from, oh my gosh. We don't want no deceased uteruses, but it was coming from a deceased donor. Okay. And, it was successful. So this was my question. I was like, okay, so if they get the uterine transplant, so how long are they carrying, this uterus inside their body? Do they want to have like periods every month? Like what is it? So the goal for this particular, client, which her name is Lindsay, she just want to have 1 or 2 babies. That was her thing. She's like, I just want to have 1 or 2 babies, and then y'all can go ahead and take this uterus out of my body, because I don't want to be on anti rejection medications forever. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want the gift of being able to birth a child and to be able to, move forward. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's a deceased donor, and you're, just 1 or 2 children, or however many children that you want. But if you do keep it in, you do have to take anti rejection drugs for the rest of your life. So Lindsay said, no, thank you. Just 1 or 2, and I'm good, and I'm blessed. So I just thought that was really, really interesting with that. So what do you guys think about that? In the comments, what do you guys think about that? Like, it's a blessing, right? So I just think like Shamanika Jackson, it's what a blessing. It is when you really think about it. And hey to 114 viewers, my amazing viewers, and my amazing listeners. How y'all doing on this amazing, wonderful Wellness Wednesday? Now, I do want to go over type 1 and type 2. Here we go. So the MRKH. So I talked about type 1 already, right? Which is the Mayer, Rokitansky, Kuster-Hauser syndrome. But it's a congenital malfunction that occurs when the Mullerian ducts fail to develop. Forgive me if I'm badgering it. Resulting in a missing uterus, varying degrees of vaginal hypoplasia. The exact cause is unknown, but it may be linked to multiple genes and mechanisms, including male psychism mutations. So people with MRKH syndrome have normal ovaries and female chromosome pattern. So we know that. Now, this is type 2. So type 2, in addition to the absence or underdeveloped uterus and vagina characteristics of MRKH, so individuals may also experience abnormalities in their kidneys, spine, and sometimes their heart or hearing. Now, you know what? That's a whole lot. That's a lot. Like, wow. These are things that we didn't even know about, or at least I didn't know. So this is why, information, I want to be able to give you guys information, right? And it's also saying, so the kidney, spine, and sometimes the heart and hearing due to malfunctions in other organ systems during development. So essentially it involves additional physical abnormalities beyond just the reproductive tract issues seen in typical MRKH syndrome type 1. I'm like, wow, it's a lot going on out here that we did not know about. It's a lot, but again, like I always say, it's still hope literally at the end of the tunnel. It's still blessings around the corner, you guys. It's just so much that's out there that if we do our research, or if you know this information, share it. People need to know about like what's to come, or what's actually happening or whatnot. Hey, so I want to share something with you guys. 2 things. So if you are going to be in the Las Vegas area, let me pull it up. I should have been already ready, right? They say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Okay, so if you're in the Las Vegas area, January 25th, the Uterus Bar presents Women's Health Support Group. And so we're going to take a deep dive into the common reproductive concerns that we have. And so I have a support group, you guys. I'm really excited. And it's going to be in person. It's going to help to inspire you to connect with others that are going through similar different issues that you may have. Again, if you've had a hysterectomy and you're trying to figure out like what is my new normal from there, if you have ovarian cysts, heavy bleeding, fibroids, you guys, uterine prolapse, infertility, any of those different things that is concerning under our hood, as we call it, I want to see you there. We want you there. And it's going to be at on Saturday, January 25th, from 2 to 4. It's a free event. It's going to be at Lola's Louisiana Kitchen, one of my favorite places to actually go to, by the way. And again, like I said, 2 to 4. Lola's Louisiana's Kitchen is at 1220 North Town Center Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89144. It's going to be fun. You're going to have some great food there you can purchase, great cocktails there you can purchase. Yes, I'm going to have the teas on decks for you to purchase too. I'm also going to have the Uterus Bar book there to purchase because you need that in your life. It's going to talk to you about, what is a hysterectomy and all that kind of good stuff. Uterine nutrition and all that, but you get to be around and connect with individuals, women that are like-minded. We're just gonna build this community because no one is really talking about the things that we're going through, and sometimes we're embarrassed to talk about it, and we're gonna have topics that we're gonna be talking about. So I really want you there. And we're going to be doing this every month, okay? Every month. And each month I'll let you know what the actual date is. So bring a friend, bring a family member, bring your mom, sister, cousin, auntie, girlfriend, bring them because you need to be definitely in the building. I cannot wait to see you actually there. And one more thing I got for you guys. Let me... Okay, this Saturday, I am going to be at Called For Me Empowerment Wellness Summit. I'm really excited. I'm going to be a vendor there. And of course, yes, of course, I'm going to have that Let Lymph Flow lymphatic tea for you to purchase. Yes, of course, I'm going to have the Uterus Bar book there for you to purchase. And guess what? Let me tell y'all what your girl's been cooking. I have been talking about all things uterus, right? And I'm talk to you guys about the different things that women were going through. Also menopause. I want you to be there too if you're going through menopause on the 25th. Okay. I have a tea that I have come up with that's going to help with balancing out your hormones, you guys. If you have ovarian cysts, it's going to help you with that. Fibroids, PCOS. I can't forget about that too. I need you to be there, my PCOS sisters. I need you there at the support group too. If you have heavy menstrual bleeding, cramping, bloat, constipation, this tea is going to help you. Okay. When I tell you it's tea and it's really good, it's a good tea, but it's going to help with the different symptoms that you have. So January 11th at the summit, it's going to be there to purchase. And if you're unable to make the summit, guess what? You guessed it. January 25th, it'll be there for you to be able to purchase. If you go to Instagram at the Uterus Bar and also at 208 Lymphatics, you guys, I will, you'll be able to see all the details with Call For Me Empowerment Wellness Summit. And it's going to be some amazing speakers there. You're going to have a great time. And you get to meet Miss Hazel that has put this amazing event on that just really want to build community. So you'll be able to meet her and all the other amazing, phenomenal vendors and also guest speakers. You guys, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I hope I have enlightened you a little bit more. As you know, I am your advocate. I am the storyteller, and I am just here for you, making sure you're getting the information giver. Okay. So it's always story time with me. And I want to leave you with this. You are not powerless. You're powerful. Doesn't mean just because, let's say, your uterus or the power center was ripped from you, or if you're going through, like I said, PCOS, have ovarian cysts, fibroids, abnormal bleeding, if you're going through your own private summer, as we like to call menopause, you are still a blessing. Okay. Even if you're going through your own infertility journey, God is going to bless you. Okay. This is a year of blessings. This is a year of standing firm in what you want to accomplish. Okay. If you have any questions, okay, please email me, okay, at the Uterus Bar at hot7025fm.com. No question is a dumb question, please. If you want to be a guest, please reach out so we can have you here. And you can catch me, okay, next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on the hottest station in Las Vegas, Hot 702.5 FM, okay, on the hottest radio station in Viva Las Vegas, Hot 702.5 FM. Happy New Year, you guys. Let's make this a great one. Bye.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
on hot 702.5fm.com.